Electric cars, they're expensive, right? What if I told you that the car behind me could cost you less every month than your satellite TV subscription?
In fact, it could actually cost you less than taking the bus.
Don't worry, our calculator isn't broken. Using government incentives means you can lease a car like this Seat Mii Electric and it will cost you less than £100 a month. If you add in the savings from fuel that an average driver will make by switching to electric, you're looking at a cost of around £70 a month for a brand new car. Now, if you want to know more about salary sacrifice, the cost of running an electric car, just some help with choosing one, then do head over to electrifying.com where we've got explainers on all of that. And of course, please like and subscribe to the channel so you know when our latest videos have landed.
So let's start by looking at how salary sacrifice works. Now, you'll already know that the government puts heavy taxes on things it wants to discourage us from using, like cigarettes and alcohol. Well, it works the other way around too, and they help us out by taxing good things less. And that includes electric cars. So they will allow you to pay for an electric car lease from your gross pay before it gets taxed, which will save you a chunk of cash, especially if you're a higher rate taxpayer.
Now, for those of us who aren't accountants, this is how it was explained to me by my accountant, Ben. Are you ready? Okay, so say you earn £100. Well, the tax man will come and take about 40 of that away from you. Oh, and then you're left with £60 to do things like pay the mortgage, buy shoes, lease a car, buy some more shoes. Now, for the sake of argument, let's say that £10 is the amount I set aside for the car. Oh, and then another £5 for the fuel. So I have £45 to pay for my other stuff. But then say the next month I get an electric car using salary sacrifice. I still get paid £100, but now the lease comes out of that before the tax man appears. So now instead of being taxed on my £90 instead of the full £100, I have more to spend. In this case, an extra £4. But with bigger numbers, that will be a lot more meaningful. And my fuel costs will be much less because I'm running on electricity. So I'm saving that £5, which will give me more money to buy shoes.
Translate this into the real world and it will mean that you can have a car like this for around £100 a month. The lease company will usually take care of the servicing, maintenance and insurance too. And if you want to look at this in more detail, then head over to electrifying.com where you can find out all the info. But first, let's take a look at the Mii. Is it more comfortable than the bus? Is it more entertaining than a subscription to 24-hour snooker channel?
You know what? Yeah, we reckon so. In fact, we all have quite a soft spot for this car, and the VW and the ŠKODA Citigo, because they're all pretty much identical. And it seems we aren't the only ones, because the ŠKODA and the VW are impossible to get hold of. It's only this Seat that you can actually buy. Now, it's really popular because even without that brilliant salary sacrifice, it's still one of the cheapest electric cars on sale in the UK. There's only one model, and it's just under £20,000 once that government grant has been deducted.
It costs almost nothing to run to, even if you don't have cheap off-peak electricity. A full charge will cost you around, wait for it, £4. As it makes efficient use of the power, you'll get further for less. It works out at around 3p per mile in fuel costs. If you can take advantage of cheaper rate electricity, this can drop to under 2p per mile.
It uses a 32 kilowatt-hour battery, about the same size as the bigger Mii Electric or Honda E. Because this is smaller and much lighter, will go around 20 miles further on the same amount of electricity. So the official range is 169 miles. And in my experience, it's been pretty accurate, you know, even in winter weather, even on motorway journeys. If you start to get low, then you can rapid charge at up to 40 kilowatts, giving you reasonably quick top-ups when you're out and about. An hour will see you go from 0 to 80%. You know, if you think about it, that means you might not even need a charger at home. If you do less than 160 miles a week, you could charge once at the weekend whilst you're at the gym, shopping, and then you'd be good to go for the whole week.
And if you do have off-street parking, a home charge from a wall box will take around 4 hours. So the Mii is cheaper than a Mini or a Honda E, but you will notice where the money has been saved, and it's looking a bit old in places. Like the bare metal in the boot or the old-fashioned and rather quaint key. But there's nothing too upsetting. We actually quite like the fact it has an old-fashioned handbrake though. It means the Mii isn't a car you'll need to read the manual before driving. And the clever packaging means it's not exactly cramped in the back, but it is a strict 4-seater. There's not even a third seat belt in the back. And it's also worth noting that the windows don't wind down, they simply pop open. We're not big fans of that.
And the boot, well, it's just about big enough to be called an actual boot and not an extension of your handbag. But it does have this fantastic hidden floor, which is great for storing things like the charging cables and anything else you want to keep out of sight. Now this is one of our favourite bits because instead of having a sat-nav screen built into the dashboard, which is almost always obsolete and usually quite complicated to use, say out no, we all use our smartphone to do everything these days. So the Mii has this nice little holder with a USB port next to it. There's also an app you can use for navigation, music and for controlling the charging. It's a really smart, really simple idea. The only thing that drives me mad with it is that my iPhone, which orientates perfectly when it's not in this holder, refuses to do it in the holder. So everything's stuck in portrait or landscape or the wrong way anyway. Drives me mad. So if you know how I can fix that, please do let me know in the comments below. On the move, the Mii feels, I guess, remarkably grown up. It's powered by an 81 brake horsepower electric motor. Might not sound like fun, but it's actually faster than any of the petrol versions ever were. Now, obviously a car like this is most at home in towns, but this is actually very happy on the motorway too. There's plenty of power there when you need to overtake. Look, it can feel a little low on grip on slippery roads and also on roundabouts, but overall this is a brilliantly versatile package. And for me, one of the real standout things is, as I've said, how close you get to the claimed range. Just looking at the average consumption, the efficiency of this car, you're getting 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour, which is absolutely brilliant. It just shows what a fantastically well thought out package this car is. Safe to say, we're big fans. You know, there's a lot to love about the Mii. And you know what, we've all really been charmed by it. It's just an honest, thoughtful and surprisingly fun package that covers all the basics and delivers a longer range than you might well expect. And you know, it could well be cheaper than getting the bus, which is something we can all get on board with.
If you're interested in the Mii, then check out our videos of the Mii Electric, the Honda E, and for a bit of fun, don't miss the ever so cute Citroen Ami. And whilst you're at it, please do subscribe to the channel.